Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Today, our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have Tom Roeser with us, and we were talking about OTTO homes and some of the regulatory things that, Tom, you had to go through in a prior situation with them.
Well, so here, Kane County has come to us. We have a system that they agree with works, and the federal government regulated how they could even take the budget from us. So they had to hire a spec writer, which they did do.
What is a spec writer?
Somebody who will write the specification for what the house work will be and what the cost of that will be. Although Carpentersville was accepting and had 50 times accepted the scope of the work and the budget of the work. And when that budget came back, it was higher than what we normally would spend on a house. So what I said to my contractors is, guys, we're going to tell them that's the budget. But we will be under budget because we're going to do it for the price we do all the others. Mm-hmm. So now we have done these 7 homes for the Neighborhood Stabilization Grant that Kane County was able to get. And the Kane County Board, 30 so members of them or so, wanted to take a little tour of the homes that we had done for them. And I was very proud to show them the homes that we had done, and they were happy to see them. The 7 homes were all brand new. They were all under budget, and I showed them a little bit about what we had done in Carpentersville with renovating the OTTO complex. And then I had them over for lunch, and I gave them a little presentation. And my presentation was, if you haven't been to Carpentersville in the last 5 years, you haven't been to Carpentersville. The town is a terrific spot. There's been so much renovation going on, much of it spearheaded by us, but others then caught the fire and did the same, that it's got cute little walking spaces around down by the river. The Blight, where OTTO was, is now beautiful. The
river, it's on the Fox River with islands, cliffs. God and the glacier went through here 10,000 years ago and created one of the most beautiful places in the state of Illinois.
It really is a suburb that had a rather not nameplate reputation in the last 20 years that is really on the mend. It has new village government, which I'm happy to say is helping and improving the area of the town. And so I make this presentation to the county board and showing them what it was and what it now is, because some people will forget what it was as far as the renovations of the capital stock. And one of the county board members said, "This is remarkable about what you have done. How can I get other businessmen in Kane County to do this? We have a problem in Aurora too." And I looked at them. Now remember, they're my guests, they're in my company. And I can't be rude to them, but I must be frank. And I looked at them and I said, "I'm from the government, I'm here to help." And then I paused.
That's a joke.
And I said to them, "But you know what? Nobody laughed." And they looked at me and I said, "You are the government, and you make regulations that make it impossible for businessmen to do this. And I am maybe a little exception out of courage to do this, as I believed it could be done. But you guys have constrained business to the point that they don't trust you. And if you were to say to somebody down in Aurora, we have this problem of foreclosures and we will make it easy for you, Mr. Businessmen, to buy these houses and renovate them beyond the codes, and you said, I'm going to appoint a government employee to help you get through the regulations, they wouldn't believe you. And until you fix that, you are shackling the capitalist, and you need to unleash the capitalist, and you can.
We've had a lot of praise about what we've done here in Carpentersville. The things you're talking about are real. And so in talking to some of the people that are in the government around here, I've been at this long before Tom was. The regulations weren't always this bad. They just gotten steadily worse. And I feel this way about it. we're now a big company. We can hire lawyers and other people to get through the thicket of all the regulations there are. And since we never borrowed along the way, which is way different than our president, who's got us in debt over the nation's ears.
16 trillion.
But we didn't borrow, so we've been able to be a little independent. We've outlasted these people that want to stick us with the Boca Code, which is just full of all details of what you must do, and you got to get their permission on every little variant of the regulations.
No, it goes even beyond the code, and I'll give you an example. Do you know what stormwater management is?
Not anymore.
Now, our buildings are on the river. When I say on the river, there are one wall of the building laps up against the water.
Yeah.
And the parking...
And for maybe 140 years, it's been there that way.
And the requirement in Carpentersville for parking is size of building related. So these buildings are all built, and there's on a property, and I need to go get a variance because there's not enough property for the parking lot size that the code requires. And Carpentersville gave me a variance, but I put parking on every available piece of property.